Good morning and happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome inside of the broadcast. Get your eggs, get your coffee, get yourself some middle school hockey here to start your morning. I'm Isaac Basinger. Alongside me is my broadcast partner for the day, Todd Allum, as we have the Wheeling Central Middle School going against the Morgantown Middle School. Todd, should be a good one here to finish out some round-robin play here on the middle school side of things.
Absolutely so. It's been a good tournament so far. We get to find out who gets in the championship game later on this morning. Nothing like good old weekend morning hockey. I can remember back in the day playing myself, waking up 4 or 5 in the morning to go play some hockey. These kids are going to have fun getting to play here at West Banco Arena. Should be a good game.
It really should be. We're super excited to see it. This is a rematch of last year's championship round as well, so really excited to see who's going to be able to clinch their ticket to play a little bit later in this morning. Before we get everything underway, we're going to have a little bit of a break before we drop the puck here on this beautiful Sunday morning.
Thank our presenting sponsor, WVU Medicine. Also, Bill's Towing and Recovery for free admission for all students this weekend. Thanks to the health plan, Wheeling CVB, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, the Pittsburgh Penguins Foundation, 1JB Digital Media, and Undo's Italian Restaurant.
As it looks like both teams are getting their last messages out on the bench. Both of the referees are down on the ice. Again, it is Morgantown and it is Wheeling Central. Morgantown will be wearing the white jerseys with the white numbers on the sleeves, red numbers on the back and nameplates. Wheeling Central in the maroon jerseys with the white numbers on the backs and sleeves. Morgantown will go left to right, Wheeling Central right to left. Flip those directions if you're watching on our stream. As everyone gets ready to get this one underway, the puck is down, the game is on, and we are underway as Morgantown will control right off the shoot. This one's going to be knocked down in the neutral zone and pumped all the way down by Landon Hatfield. Maroon Knights look to put some pressure, but the Mohawks are able to skate it out of the way. Moving the puck forward is number 66, that being Max Snyder, until he loses it off his tape. Moving in now are the Mohawks, swinging it back towards the blue line, but puck's going to be poked away. Wheeling Central looks to push it ahead, as the first one on it is going to be the Mohawks, but Blaze Holt right there behind him to try to keep the puck in the Maroon Knight offensive zone. Possible 2-on-2 with the trailer coming for the Maroon Knights. Coming down the left side, it's Snyder. He stops, looks for a teammate, looks to curl it back. Cross-ice pass, that one gets knocked down, eventually goes into a Maroon Knight errant stick. Puck loose in front of the net. It's going to be taken away by Wheeling Central, try to clear the zone, but not enough on it. Mohawks keep it in, pass to the slot, tip in out front, and the rebound kicks right in front as the save was made, I believe, by Mason Hastings. Maroon Knights kick it ahead as Blaze Holt on the left side fires a long low shot. That one's going to be sticked away into the near side corner as Snyder will take it for the Mohawks. As we're under a minute so far played into this game, as moving inside, keeping control to the backhand between the legs, they score! Brooks Nelson gets the scoring early with the fantastic move. It's 1-0 Morgantown.
What a show of skill for the middle school Mohawks. I'm telling you right now, a tremendous tape-to-tape pass from Max Snyder that just set this off, and Brooks Nelson made a nice little move between two defenders. Again, we talked about patience on Thursday, and once again, patience paying off in a big, beautiful goal.
Just going around the defender, cutting in, and going in between the legs. Something about this Morgantown team in the highlights.
Yes, we saw it a lot last year when they had two Petrucci's on the team, but now just one, but the big-time plays continue.
As it is 1-0 Morgantown here as we are not even 2 minutes into this one. As that puck's going to be splattered in deep by Meredith Komarowski. Play in front of the net as trying to tap it home was Zane Atkinson, but the save was made by the Morgantown goaltender, that being number 39, Joe Perella. Mohawks clear the zone as Komorowski will calm it down for the Maroon Knights. Puck chipped ahead. As the Maroon Knights will punch it in deep as Brooks Nelson, the most recent goal scorer, carries the puck. Trying to carry it out of the zone. Will pitchfork it ahead, but the Maroon Knights will take it over in the neutral zone. Meredith Komorowski has it, banks it ahead, goes for a self-pass, and eventually goes to a teammate as the Mohawks will take over as it's Nelson battling along the near side boards, past the middle of the ice. Snyder with a high shot and a snipe, and he scores.
That duo combines again. They just flip-flop places. Snyder now getting the goal, and Nelson getting the assist on the second one for the middle school Mohawks.
That was an absolute snipe of a shot by Max Snyder as he makes it 2-0 Mohawks with 10:20 in some change to remaining here in this first period. Blaze Holt comes inside. Shot comes as the Maroon Knights look to try to get back into it. The whistle is going to be blown, but it looks like the net is off its bearings as there's 10:09 left and it's 2-0 Mohawks.
Well, Morgantown wasting no time, letting everybody know they want to play in that state title game coming up later on today. And they got a good start to it right now.
As it's going to be an offensive zone face-off in the Maroon Knight end. On the left face-off dot as Blaze Holt wins it back. Long shot fired close to the wall as that came from Landon Hatfield. Didn't reach the net. Pass comes back, but Snyder's there to pick it off. He gets around one. Mohawks might have numbers, a possible 3-on-1. Carrying in, pass in front of the net. As Snyder misses the tip in just barely off of the feed from Jackson Cash. Morgantown has certainly woken up early in this one as they have their legs moving again. They lead 2-0 as we're just a few minutes into this one. Maroon Knights will tip it in as it was Isaac Tiu with the backhand flipper. He gets the puck in deep. Maroon Knights will keep it on the blue line after the clearing attempt. Mohawks look to move it forward, face a little bit of pressure from the forechecking Maroon Knights. Eventually the puck will be squirted out to the neutral zone and sent all the way down. A race for the puck. The first one's gone on. It's going to be Ryder Baker, but Blaze Holt takes it away in the forechecking corner. Holt from behind the net tries to find space, gets the puck taken off of his tape. And here come the Mohawks going the other way, but before it was stolen, Holt comes in, working around the backside of the net, goes for the stuff wraparound try, but that one's going to be covered up by Perella. Shots are 3-3 in the early going, but not all shots are created equal as it's 2-0 in favor of Morgantown.
And it looks like so far Morgantown, it's at all times they either have Brooks Nelson or Max Snyder on the ice at all times.
Scrum off of the face-off. Eventually, the Mohawks will come out of the pile as they look to push it forward. Taking it away, though, for the Maroon Knights is Zane Atkinson. As the Maroon Knights doing a good job, even though being down 2-0. Forechecking pressure has been excellent here in the early going, Todd.
Yeah, for the most part, passing in the offensive zone for both of these teams has been very good. It's just one has resulted in 2 goals.
Mohawks have the puck, but getting stapled into the boards was Provola. And eventually it's going to be kicked out to the neutral zone. Battle in front of the Maroon Knight bench. Eventually going to be taken into the offensive zone as Ike Ryan was able to swivel it down deep as he rotates it across the boards. As Nelson battles in the corner against number 11, Kendall Kincaid. Nelson curls around the back of the net. Nelson looking for space, looking to find a teammate. Nelson continues to swirl the zone until eventually he gets stapled into the boards and gets it taken off his tape, but he gets it right back. Nelson is able to dump it around the boards until Komorowski's able to take it away and look to start up some pressure. Komorowski carrying it down the right side, now cutting to the middle. Works towards the left, is able to dump it all the way deep, and eventually the puck goes towards the side of the net where Perella is able to swat it away for a second. Carrying now the other direction is Ryan. Finds Snyder. Snyder had it for a second, got it taken off his tape, but he gets it right back. Snyder 1-on-5. Shot and a glove. Knocking it away was Hastings for the Maroon Knights. Snyder's got a shot. Seen it go in once. Almost went in there again, but Hastings had the glove. Puck dumped in deep around the end boards. Going to be continue to be swiveled around by the Maroon Knights. but kept in. But eventually Blaze Holt of Wheeling Central is able to have it. He makes a move and looks to carry it through the neutral zone. Now coming in down the left side, Blaze Holt comes, fires a hard shot, misses the net wide to the left. As we're down to 6:45 remaining here in the first period. It's 2-0 Morgantown. 2 early goals in this one. 2 goals less than 3 minutes into the game as a long shot comes in by Holt. That one's going to be blockered away by the goaltender Perella. Max Snyder down the right side. Carries in, drops it off to a teammate, but eventually he's going to be splattered right back in deep to where Snyder is. Tries a centering pass, but that's going to be blocked. And the Maroon Knights look to carry it out of the zone, but are not able to get it out, but eventually they do. That one becomes offsides. We get a whistle. 6:15 remaining in the first period.
Yeah, so far Morgantown has really kind of controlled the pace of this game. Wheeling Central, you see a little bit there a couple shifts ago. Nelson carrying the puck a good bit in the offensive end, and the Maroon Knights able to figure it out. If he's going to do that, get 2 men on him. They got the puck away from him. We'll have to see if the Knights can continue to adjust and try to get a goal here before Morgantown can get another.
A couple of things about the middle school game for those who've probably watching already know, but just for those who do not know, 13-minute periods, there's no break, there's no ice cut in the middle of it either. But one thing you do know is the Maroon Knights have numbers here, coming in on a 2-on-1. Has trying to find some space there with number 23, Ruger Williams, but he gets to take it off of his tape. Wheeling Central does not get a shot on that possible odd man rush. Here comes another odd man rush coming the other way. As moving in is Nelson. Nelson fires a shot and a body save made by Mason Hastings.
Again, there's Nelson for the Mohawks. This kid, very good offensively, very good skater, understands where he needs to go and what he needs to do to get defenders out of the way to get a shot off. He created his own shooting lane on that shot right there. He's going to be a good player as he continues to grow.
Absolutely. I've seen it a couple times here already. I think you see a couple of players on the site, so we're going to hear in the next couple of years in the high school division that are going to be some playmakers. And one of them is right there, and that's Blaze Holt. Carries it down the right side, gets in. Puck gets tipped off of his tape. But here come the Mohawks. Possible had another player sneaking in the back door. That was Ryder Baker as we get a whistle.
And Morgantown has continued to either have Max Snyder or Brooks Nelson on the ice at all times, one or the other, if not both at the same time. And it's worked out so far. When they were both on the ice at the same time, they got 2 goals, and now it's just one at a time to try to hold that lead.
As it was a neutral zone draw in front of the opposite dot of the Maroon Knight bench. It's one back, and eventually it's going to be carried into the Maroon Knights zone. This one's going to be offsides. Again, also in the middle school, there's no delayed offsides. As soon as it goes in, you get that whistle, and the play will stop. As we're down to 5:15 remaining in our first period. As we've mentioned a couple times already, 2-0 in favor of Morgantown. Maroon Knights will make a last-second line change. As the draw is won, it goes in and out, and another whistle. This is the issue with the non-delayed offsides, because that was completely unintentional. But we get a whistle because the puck got chipped into it. So we're going to re-rack it, drop the puck, continue to go. As the puck's in, and the Maroon Knights are able to splatter it back into the neutral zone. Puck takes a high aerial flip. That one stays on sides barely. This one will be dunked down all the way to the ice, but here early in the first period, there being a lot of hockey, that one did not have enough to go the distance for icing. Neither does this one right here. It's trying to play it from behind the net are the Mohawks. Maroon Knights have it. Vilas tried to get the pass to the front of the net. Doesn't get through, but eventually gets back to the blue line. As a low shot came from Komorowski. Here comes Brooks Nelson. You know he's going to shoot it. Comes in, gets around 1, gets around 2. Nelson now will carry it around the back of the net. Tries to dump it off for a teammate. Eventually it's going to be taken away. But they continue to battle for it, and eventually the puck will come all the way out to Kendall Kincaid, who swirls it around the boards. It gets past number 10, Ryder Baker, but eventually the Mohawks will continue to have it as they dump it all the way in deep. As we're down to 4:10 remaining in the first period. 2-0 Morgantown. Baker gets it to the middle of the ice, not able to handle the pass was Brooks Nelson. And the Maroon Knights look to turn some defense into offense. Shot blocked, works almost as a pass. Puck comes right in front of the net as Zane Atkinson had a chance, but he missed the net high. Mohawks look to exit the zone, but they cannot. A long shot, going to be bodied down into the glove as Atkinson fired it. Perella made the save.
Yeah, Perella not tested much so far. At least, as we said, the shots are even, but quality of shots are not quite there for the Maroon Knights just yet. But Perella is doing a great job of making sure that his team stays up 2-0.
3:46 remaining in this first period. Shot in front as Blaze Holt misses the net high and wide to the right as Snyder pokes it away. Possible 2-on-1 coming. Pass across, trying to handle it. They're going right to the front of the net. Snyder tips it in on goal off of the feed from Jackson Cash. But right there to make the save was Mason Hastings. That's a big one to circle on your books.
Absolutely. So Hastings, a huge save right there. Snyder has shown all game long he's able to do the little deflections, the tips. He's very good at that.
Wheeling Central won the draw, but facing some pressure already. Cross-ice pass, trying to find Snyder, but Maroon Knights get in the way. This puck goes all the way down. Icing's going to be waved off as Isaac Tiu tries to be the first one on it for the Maroon Knights as he puts Baker into the boards. Snyder dumps it off. Has a teammate working down the middle. It's Cash. He's going to get a stick into the skates. That's going to be a trip. And Morgantown will head to the first power play of the game as it's going to be 2 minutes for tripping against the Maroon Knights.
Yeah, definite trip there. Can't really complain if you're a Central fan. That was absolutely the good call, or the correct call. Don't know if that was just a little bit of frustration right now, trying to get a goal and get something going, nothing going, and then, well,
maybe not.
Was it just offside?
Might have been offside. It looked like there was a stick in there, so
I agree with you.
So no power plays to be given out. Our apologies. As we continue to play five-a-side hockey. Battle in front of the benches. Maroon Knights have it and squib it back out to the neutral ice. It's carrying in as Dylan Dahl. Dahl fires a shot, misses high, and hits the glass. That sends the puck all the way out into the Mohawk defensive zone. They look to push it forward, but that one gets taken away. Swiveled towards the net, but not getting there is Zane Atkinson. So Maroon Knights starting to see some forechecking pressure put on their end as they look to go the other direction. We're just going to juggle the puck around here in the morning, as that was Brooks Nelson who dribbled it all the way around, a shot in front of the net, as that came from Ike Ryan. That one missed the net wide, but that was just, tipping the puck up in the air to yourself. And as you said, make your own offense sometimes. That will do it.
Nelson was very close to it being a high stick, with that puck being close to above his shoulders or above the crossbar.
Nelson had it taken off his tape, as going the other way was Kaczynski. Eventually the Maroon Knights will go and tip this puck down the ice. Puck swirled around, now coming back the other direction and stopping on a dime, waiting for teammates to get ready. As we mentioned a couple times, your first goal scorer of the game, Brooks Nelson. Puck turned over. Maroon Knights look to work their way in. One move in by Kaczynski, but eventually it's going to be ladled out to the center of the ice. And eventually, Komorowski waits for teammates to get on sides as she carries it in. Komorowski, the defenseman, carries it in. Now behind the goal. Right there first was Atkinson, overskates the puck as Snyder has it, just sends it out to the center of the ice. It's going to be offsides. We'll get a whistle with 1:01 remaining in the first period, 2-0 Morgantown.
It seems like so far that all the little bounces in the puck battles, they seem to be going Morgantown's way. I'm not saying that these would directly lead to legitimate scoring chances for Wheeling Central, but a lot of these little bounces are going Morgantown's way right now, and they're taking advantage of it.
Remaining in the period, 1 minute.
As we hear from the public address announcer for this game, I believe that's John Blackmore down there. We're under a minute remaining in this first period. Carrying in a good sliding block by the Maroon Knights to keep that possible cross-ice pass from going anywhere. Blaze Holt, he has a head of steam. Holt works to the center ice, forehand, backhand, misses the net just wide. The Mohawks will eventually take it out of the zone as we're down to 30 seconds here in this period. Cross-ice pass from Cash does not connect as he had Snyder on the left side. Snyder has it, tries to center for Cash, not able to get it there as the Mohawks will cycle it in deep. Down to 15 seconds. This puck will skate all the way down. They're going to say no icing on the place. We go to under 10 seconds here. Morgantown has it. Tries for the high aerial pass. This one will go past a couple of players. That's all we'll have here for our first period of play. Morgantown leads 2-0.
Well, the Mohawks showing that they're trying to be the class of the middle school of the state. They were last year. They're trying to repeat. And so far, so good for them. Again, some of the bounces continue to go Morgantown's way. You saw Blaze Holt do pretty well there with a big burst of speed right at the end of the period. Looked a little bit like his dad. His nickname back in his high school sports days was Thunderbolt Holt. So you know there's a lot of speed in the family, and Blaze showed it off right there.
While we have a second, we're going to take a quick break to get some of our commercials.
My name is Ron Sismondo. I'm an orthopedic sports medicine surgeon at WVU Medicine Wheeling Hospital. So my goal is to never try to take you out of whatever you want to do. I'm not there to pull them off the field. Like, I'm not there to tell you, like, you can't go golfing or you can't do what you love doing, what you enjoy doing. My goal is to make sure that you're able to continue to do it and do it as best as you possibly can. You want to be out there. That's something that's important to you. That's part of your life.
When life throws you a curveball, turn to Bill's Towing and Recovery, your Ohio Valley expert. Since 1981, Bill's has been the most trusted name in towing, roadside assistance, and fleet maintenance. Whether you're stuck on Route 250 or I-70, our 24/7 service ensures you help us just a phone call away. With partnerships from AAA to top auto insurance providers, we're ready to handle your needs swiftly and professionally. For reliable service day or night, trust Bill's Towing and Recovery.
Blue Knights try to battle the puck away, and they eventually do. As they carry it in. Eventually getting knocked into the boards was Vilas. Here comes the other direction as it's Brooks Nelson, already one in the game. Nelson loses it, and the Maroon Knights look to push defense into offense. Carrying around one, but not able to get past the second one was Atkinson. As the Mohawks look to get it out of their defensive end.
Yeah, the Knights tried to take advantage of maybe not a great line change for some of the defensive pairings of Morgantown, but Morgantown was able to make it back and hinder any kind of offense from Wheeling Central.
As Potasio comes in and fires a shot, misses it wide to the right. As the Maroon Knights look to put a little bit of pressure. Potasio has again in the slot over to Holt. That one tips and goes on top of the net. Eventually has to be touched by a high stick, but don't see that very often. A good shot there by Blaze Holt. Didn't get a ton on it, but almost was able to flutter its way in.
Yeah, he's going to be thinking about that one for a little while. Just about an inch or two shorter, and maybe it goes bar down in the net. Missed on a close opportunity.
Shot in and a good save made by the goaltender Perella. The Maroon Knights look to continue to push it past the center of the ice. Not going to get through as that was from Isaac Tiu as he takes a tumble behind the net. Carrying ahead is Snyder. Comes in on the right side, has it, looking for teammates, tries to dump it to the slot. Nobody home. It looked like he was trying to find Jackson Cash. Snyder has it in the slot, backhanded. That one's going to miss the net wide to the left. As the Maroon Knights try to throw to the slot, but Cash has it. Not able to cash in on that opportunity as he throws it on net, but the save was made. Shot comes through. That's going to be blocked in front of the net, as that was blocked by Landon Hatfield. Puck swerved in the middle of the ice, but into the slot. A shot again tipped and blocked down in front by Hatfield. 2-on-1 coming for the Maroon Knights. Coming under the tight angle, hits the outside of the net. As we're 3 minutes into this second period, still 2-0 in favor of the Mohawks. As the first one back on it, number 29, Landon Hatfield. Again, saw 2 blocked shots on that last shift. Or actually, it's his current shift. Never came off the ice for Hatfield. As the puck finds him here again. He's able to chip it ahead, get it into the offensive zone, but eventually the Mohawks will swerve it right back out. Controlling it now, Ruger Williams, but eventually taken off of his tape. Both teams battled in the neutral zone until the Mohawks taken in the offensive zone. Low shot, that's going to be an easy save made for Hastings. Nelson cuts through one, cuts through another, tries to do it all himself, but eventually gets shut down as Hastings was able to make the easy save, but right back to Nelson. Nelson chips it deep. As the Maroon Knights will poke it forward. Trying to get out of their defensive zone, but they can't. Nelson had it, lost it. Looked like he wanted to go for the big back scratcher, was not able to. But a teammate's right there to help him out was Ryder Baker. And eventually the puck comes back to Nelson. Nelson toe drag around front of the net. Puck loose, misses the net wide to the right. A golden opportunity there for the Mohawks, but they just missed the net. Maroon Knights look to push in transition. Possibly could have numbers. Lose it in the neutral zone for a second. Try to carry it back in, but just going to be offside before that shot gets off. 8:33 remaining in the second period.
And Nelson's most recent scoring chance just a few seconds ago all came because of number 10, Ryder Baker. Did a tremendous job right on the blue line, making a move around the forward for the Wheeling Central Maroon Knights, and Nelson did the rest. Almost got another goal in this one.
Puck battled for in the neutral zone. Eventually it's going to be taken and sent down the ice by Kincaid. First one on is the player that Todd just mentioned, that being Ryder Baker. As that puck is now behind the net as the Maroon Knights have it. In Gretzky's office, turning around, trying to find somebody open with number 7, Kaczynski, as the puck moves across the ice. Kaczynski, first one on it for the Maroon Knights. Looking for a lane, back up to the blue line. Shot tipped in front of the net. The initial shot looked like it came from Komorowski, tipped in the slot. Wasn't quite sure who got a piece of that one. Atkinson tried to bang it in deep, but eventually comes out to Brooks Nelson, who's going to curl it back and say, all right, let's settle this down, as Nelson will carry it down the center of the ice. Wouldn't be surprised if he keeps it the whole way. Nelson gets around 1, gets around 2. Now trying to cut to the middle. Toe drag, move, fires, hits the outside of the net.
Look, when you can skate the way Nelson can, you can handle the puck the way Nelson can, you can shoot the way that he can, I'd hold on to it for a while too.
Kaczynski, first one on it for the Maroon Knights as he dumps it back towards the blue line. Komorowski fires a shot. That one's going to be blocked, but it comes right to a teammate. Inside, firing a shot, and they score! Mason Vilas is able to cut the deficit in half, as it's now 2-1 in favor of Morgantown.
Well, Wheeling Central finally answers and gets a big goal here, and you want to talk about getting a goal like that and not coming from Blaze Holt or the top line for Wheeling Central. That's a huge, huge goal to get some from some depth players.
That came from the initial shot that was blocked. I believe that was Meredith Komorowski fired the initial shot, and eventually it leads to Vilas getting a chance and being able to score, trying to get back on sides there, or the Maroon Knights not able to.
Some of those little bounces finally going Wheeling Central's way, and it ends up on the stick of the goal scorer. And again, Mason Vilas, a big one.
They changed the assist on us as Kaczynski and Atkinson both get assists on that. So a full 3-point play as the puck goes to the slot. Maroon Knights look to try to tie this one up as a long shot. That's going to be blockered away into the far side corner by Perella. Maroon Knights keep the puck in as that was a blazing of a shot as it went around the boards. I believe that was by Landon Hatfield.
Good positioning on that shot as well. Kept it low, hoping for a tip in front. Just couldn't get a Maroon Knight stick on it.
Puck's going to be sent directly into the Maroon Knight bench. Watch out there as it almost hit the most recent goal scorer, Vilas.
Well, that's another reason they wear the full cage face masks at this age. Even if you're not playing, I'm pretty certain it was 20 years ago. I'm certain the rule is the same. Even if you're not playing or not dressed, you still got to have a helmet on the bench if you're one of the youngsters not dressed.
As one of the assistant coaches down there, I believe that's Matt Leonard, had to watch out for that puck flying right at him. As Snyder has it, carries in on the left side. Not something you see very often, a rare helmet change for Blaze Holt after that first period. Cash fires a shot. Pad save made by Hastings. Puck eventually worked its way out to the neutral zone and back into the Mohawk defensive end. Curling it back and looking to set everything up. Coming ahead, Snyder has some space. This could be dangerous. Fires a high, hard shot, but Hastings says no.
Hastings saw that puck very well. Snyder, tremendous shot for a youngster. And you see he and Blaze Holt having some words. That might continue as the years go on into high school hockey.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Todd. It might look like, if I'm trying to get a look at the helmets, some of the helmets that are the red there, I wonder if they play on the same travel team possibly.
That's a good point.
For both a couple of the players on each side, as it looks like Brooks Nelson, Max Snyder, and Blaze Holt all have that same style helmet on.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think people could argue whether opponents don't like each other, the rivalry there, or if they are friends playing a similar team, that rivalry might be even worse because they play on the same team and are teammates in other parts of hockey. So this could be pretty fun.
This could be fun here. 3-on-2 working the other direction. Nelson has it on the right side. Tries to go around one, that being Komorowski, but she does a good job sealing off the play, and then her defensive partner, Kincaid, is able to come over and shut the play off. As Komorowski looked to carry it ahead and eventually gets the puck all the way in deep. That's all you can ask for a defenseman working in from defense to offense. As Nelson tries to get around one, but that's going to be poked away as Kaczynski has it, fires from the tight angle. Pad save, tries to stuff it in on the other side, but to no avail. As we're under 5 minutes here in the second period. A tight game here. It saw 2-0 earn the early going, but eventually has seen Wheeling Central cut that deficit in half. Nelson tries to cut through 4 defenders, looks to the referee and said, hey, it might have gotten slashed there. He says, play on, kid. As we continue to move the puck ahead, Maroon Knights try to push it forward, but not able to stay on sides. 4:29 left here in the second period. It's 2-1 Morgantown.
I think Wheeling Central starting to pick up on Nelson hanging onto the puck for a long time and kind of trying to skate with it anytime he touches it. So Central just kind of collapsing on him and getting the puck away from him.
Having numbers back, too, helps a whole lot as well. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Eventually, the Maroon Knights will push it into their offensive zone and get the puck in deep. Slade Smith putting some pressure behind the net for the Mohawks. Eventually, the Maroon Knights have 3 below the goal line. Now it's just 2. The puck's loose on the doorstep. Eventually going to be dug out and taken away. As Max Snyder had it taken off his tape, but eventually the puck finds him. Snyder gets around 1, gets around 2, comes in, fires a shot, misses the net wide. Possibly had a teammate as trying to center the pass for the Mohawks, but eventually it gets swept away. The Maroon Knights have no other choice. We'll send it down the ice for icing. 3:46 remaining in the second period.
Yeah, you could see Hatfield not necessarily wanting to ice the puck. Once it got there, showed a little bit of frustration. I get there, I've been there before, trying to get the heat out of a hot kitchen and just put a little bit too much muscle on the dump out, and it goes as an icing.
As Blaze Holt will come in for the draw for the Maroon Knights. As he wins it against Aaron Medecki. Holt will control it. Gets it ahead, and it's going to be chipped down in deep by Palacio. As he's the first one on it from the Maroon Knights. Eventually it's going to be taken off of his tape. Holt, though, able to keep it on the line. But eventually, the Mohawks take it ahead. Looking for the pass back to an open teammate. That was Jackson Cash as the trailer. Snyder gets the pass from Cash, but that was tipped and goes to the near side boards.
Cash had a nice little saucer pass there, just didn't quite connect.
Finn Tiu's pass goes across the ice as the Maroon Knights look to get it out of their defensive zone. We're under 3 minutes here in the second period. 2-1, Morgantown has the lead. Blaze Holt down the middle, fires a shot, glove save made by Perella with 2:49 remaining.
Yeah, the Maroon Knights, I'm sure, would love nothing more than to get back to about the center of the circles and get a shot on net. Morgantown has done a good job after that first goal for Wheeling Central to keep them beyond the circles for all their shots.
Yeah, the shots don't exactly have enough muster on it to be able to beat a goaltender clean from there. You're going to need a rebound.
Yeah, this might be the Nailers' home ice, but it's not grown adult men shooting from the top of the circles. A little different.
Coming in, Nelson, right side. Gets around. Oh, doesn't really get around one. Centers the puck to the middle. Eventually comes to the slot, fires a high shot, and a glove save is made. As that shot came from, trying to see the number, not listed on the roster.
Yeah.
As I believe that's a Smith on the back of the jersey. As Smith, the no-name player, is able to fire one to the middle. As the save was made by Hastings. Eventually, Smith will juggle it in deep. Maroon Knights look to possibly move with numbers as the puck goes to an open area. Carrying ahead, Zane Atkinson on the left side. Looks to dump it towards the middle of the ice. Puck is loose in front of that. Backhand try. Not one, but twice by Kaczynski. But eventually going to be covered up by Perello. That puck was loose, but it might have been lack of sight of the puck. Gets the whistle. 2:05 remaining in the second period.
Yeah, that was probably Wheeling Central's second best scoring chance in this game so far. Obviously, the first one was the goal, but that was so very close. And boy, Morgantown, it seems like they've kind of slowed down since that first period.
Shots are even, 12 apiece so far in the game. Wheeling Central has one more shot in this period than Morgantown. Puck swiveled around. Kincaid will whip it around the boards, finds a teammate. Working below the goal line, pass in the middle. Puck staying on the doorstep. Puck was loose. Perella is able to make the save and keep it out.
Vilas is doing a good job. He's a pretty handsy little player. Does good with puck control, keeping it away from the other team and kind of setting up defenders to make sure he's got a good passing lane. He does a tremendous job out there.
As the Maroon Knights will have the offensive zone draw to the right circle. But it's going to be one back, and eventually Smith will take it for Morgantown, but puck turned over in the middle of the zone. Maroon Knights keep it in. Long, low shot. That one tipped just wide. Holt will be the first one on it for the Maroon Knights, trying to circle around Snyder. He's stapled into the half board, and eventually the Mohawks will have it and get it out of the zone. Carrying ahead and working their way in as Madecki tries to find Snyder in the middle of the ice. Nobody home, as this one will be swirled all the way around the boards.
Hatfield did a great job of tying Snyder up, getting to the net there.
Snyder gets it, though, in a good scoring area. Fires a high shot. Misses the net high.
Remaining in the period.
As we're now under a minute remaining in the period. Errant stick on the play, as the Mohawks are just going to go and make the change. Looking to go ahead. Possible 2-on-1. Pass across. Holt tipped it in front. Perella makes a save. Second chance. Puck loose on the doorstep. Perella down and out. Maroon Knights have to get it up in the air, and they cannot. And eventually the puck gets sent out to the neutral zone as we're down to 35 seconds remaining in the second period.
What a sequence there. I thought Hatfield was going to get a reward for playing well defensively, but just couldn't put it in.
Maroon Knights try to get one last chance, but here comes defense and offense as it's Jackson Cash. Cash one-on-one, has a teammate trailing, eventually coming in, but the Maroon Knights are able to keep it off. As you mentioned, Hatfield makes a good defensive play, makes another one right there. As we're down under 10 seconds, puck's going to be taken away and swirling around and trying to find a teammate. Are the Maroon Knights trying to get out of the zone, and they eventually do, and that will do it for our second period of play. 2-1 Morgantown after 2. We'll have a quick break to hear from our sponsors.
At the end of 2 periods of play, Morgantown 2.
I meet people every single day who are dealing with injury, dealing with a loss of a loved one, who are dealing with a situation in their darkest hour. Fortunately, I get to be a part of that story. I get to help them work through that problem. The Stuckey Firm is here for you to provide you the resources and experience that you need to get back on your feet.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
For over 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia Home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community, the health plan. Here for you.
Cool round robin action here at the West Virginia State Championships, all presented by WVU Medicine. Our scoring so far went Morgantown taking the lead with 11:40 left in that first period, as we saw Brooks Nelson get a beautiful pass from Max Snyder, able to tip it in. Then Morgantown made it 2-0 as Snyder with an absolute laser of a shot as he put it in the top left corner. But Wheeling Central is able to get one back and make it a 2-1 game as we're here to the third period.
After that first period, I thought this might turn into a Brooks Nelson and Max Snyder show. Wheeling Central has come back, and they've got more shots on net than Morgantown has right now.
As shots in that second period were the Maroon Knights with 9. As that one just trickles out and it will be offsides. And it was Morgantown 06. So totals after that second period, Wheeling Central 14, Morgantown 12, as you alluded to, Todd.
This one has turned out to be a better game than I expected. Wheeling Central kind of took a bit more of the control of the game in that second period. And it's going to be fun to see how this one turns out in the third.
Nelson gets around one, tries to find a teammate in the middle of the ice, but is going to be erased out and eventually goes to the neutral zone. Maroon Knights look to push it ahead as both teams take turns giving it to each other, going the other directions. This battle in front of the benches. Trying to find some teammates. Eventually the puck does come loose as Kincaid tries to dump it off the boards. Tries once, first one blocked, second one is able to get through slightly. Mohawks continue to forecheck it away and keep it alive. Long shot tip, that one's going to miss the net wide, as no shock there. Brooks Nelson was the one to get a piece of that puck as it went towards the net. Turnaround shot, not going to get through as that puck's loose in the slot, and eventually the Maroon Knights get it out of danger and might turn this into something coming the other direction, as Kaczynski has a step, working in, takes a stick inside, but eventually Perrella is able to make the save, but good defensive work by Smith by the Mohawks. Snyder has it, finds a teammate, looks to dump it in deep, but it goes directly to the Maroon Knights in Landon Hatfield, and the Maroon Knights will chunk it in deep and go off for a change. Palaciro is able to have it. Puck taken around the behind the net. Trying to center as Holt was flashing towards the front of the net was Isaac Tiu. Tiu tries to center. Pass comes out. Hatfield with a big try. Misses the net wide to the right.
Hatfield's going to be a good player once he gets to high school as well. He's got a good all-around game, both ends of the ice. Does a good job. Big kid, too.
Yeah, an 8th grader, so we'll definitely see him on the high school side of things next season. Max Snyder tries to cut through two, but eventually is going to be erased. But the puck comes back to him. So he'll just chunk it in deep all the way down the boards as it will rim all the way around. Puck loose in the neutral zone As a battle right in front of the press box down at ice level. Holt makes one miss. Tries to make another miss. Has a step. Holt, cross ice pass, shot. They score! Zane Atkinson is able to tap in the beautiful feed from Blaze Holt. We're tied at 2.
And Atkinson with the wisdom of an old hockey player. He knew that goaltender was coming down, but he wasn't on the ice yet. Just kept that puck flat on the ice, got the puck underneath the goaltender. We were kind of waiting for Blaze Holt to make a play here or there, and he finally gets a nice assist on a great individual effort getting into the offensive end.
As we're now all tied up at 2. As Kaczynski tries to get around one. Eventually that one's going to be erased into the near side boards.
Time to goal, 9:59 in the third period. Atkinson.
The Maroon Knights tried to keep it alive here and possibly try to take a lead. Try to clinch themselves in a spot to play a little bit later in this morning.
Maroon Knights fired up now. You can see they got a little bit of juice going now that they got this game tied up.
It's Cash. Carries in, gets around one, finds a teammate as the drop pass comes back. The Maroon Knights block a shot, but Nelson's able to keep it alive. Surprised after that first goal we saw from Morgantown where they had both Nelson and Schneider on the ice at the same time. It's just been one or the other as offsides called against the Maroon Knights. They've been, as you mentioned, sharing shifts, going one on, one off. And as you sense that momentum changing, you might think they might put them both back on the ice at one time.
Yeah, we'll see what the Morgantown coaches want to do. I agree with you, Isaac, because when they were on the ice at the same time, boy, there was nothing Wheeling Central could do to stop them.
As Blaze Holt works his way to the middle, his shot was eventually blocked. Couldn't find the puck as it was in his skates. As going ahead was Madecki. Had it poked ahead. Maroon Knight bench says offsides. Referee says play on. As Kincaid takes it away. Shot inside. They shoot and score. As it is Brooks Nelson as he goes to an E, takes the ice, and slicks the hair back as he gives his team the lead once again.
Boy, the celebrations for kids these days, all we did was just throw our hands in the air and say, oh my God, I can't believe that puck went in the net. But Brooks Nelson, he's done it so often. He's got a bunch of celebrations to do as well. You knew one of these guys was probably going to step up, whether it be Nelson or Snyder, and Nelson does it, retakes the lead.
A minute and 11 seconds after the Maroon Knights tied it up, as it was Brooks Nelson. Maroon Knights look to carry the other direction. See if, sounds like no assist on that goal as well. Here comes Snyder. Snyder comes in with a big drive as Hastings able to make the save.
And it's a really difficult player to defend when he's the biggest guy on the ice, one of the fastest guys on the ice, and can shoot the puck that hard. It's a difficult defense to play when you're that young.
That's how the NHL players feel about Connor McDavid. As the Maroon Knights try to keep it in their offensive zone, but Snyder's there, erases one Maroon Knight, and Snyder looks to move it forward. Snyder on the left side tries to fire a shot he fans, but had some good pressure on him by the Maroon Knights defense. Under 8 minutes remaining here in this third period. It was 2-2, but only for a minute and 11 seconds before Brooks Nelson takes care of that as he gives the Mohawks the 3-2 lead. A player possibly sneaking behind the defense, as that is Nelson. Brooks Nelson works to the center, toe drag around one, backhand pass in front, not able to cash it in was Madecki.
That was a beautiful pass from Nelson.
Nelson has it now, looking to work around one, but eventually is going to be closed off. Pass comes out to the slot. Smith fires a shot, tipped just wide. Madecki got a piece of it in the slot. Nelson gets around two Maroon Knights, fires from the tough angle. That one's going to be blocked. One-timer shot off of that block shot was Jackson Cash. He missed the net wide to the left as we're down to 7 minutes remaining here in the third period. Puck comes in and stays in the whole time. As Madecki, drop pass. Back to a teammate. Jackson Cash fires a long shot, misses the net wide to the left. Was looking for a tip in front, again by Madecki. Maroon Knights can't get it out of their zone. As Nelson passes across, Cash, shot blocked in front by Hadfield. Maroon Knights dump it ahead and get it out of their zone. Won't have enough on it for icing as it barely gets into their offensive zone. The Maroon Knights will have it. As dumping it down the boards was Kincaid. Kaczynski is able to forecheck it away, but has 3 Mohawks to deal with. Maroon Knights looking to tie this one back up. Never led in the game as the puck's thrown towards the middle of the slot there by Atkinson. Just threw it to the area, nobody home. Puck loose in front of the Mohawk bench, trying to push it forward. Vilas gets it to Atkinson, lost it in his skates. Atkinson takes it away, trying to find a teammate. Vilas on the near side was not able to stuff it in. Maroon Knights getting in tight here as they're working behind the net in the trapezoid. Wraparound chance, puck loose on a doorstep. Where is it? The referee blows the whistle. As we get a little bit of some pushing back and forth there, as we're getting the cross checks thrown back and forth.
Well, the good old days of youth hockey, getting a little fired up late here in the game, getting a little tense for both of these teams, and sure enough, I think we got a couple players going to the box.
Yeah, this is going to be Snyder and Kaczynski for each side. There will be no power plays here. I imagine we'll see if they even put them up on the boards, as I believe they're going to give them both misconduct, so they'll both be done for the game. That's a big, though, for...
Absolutely so. Snyder in the box for the rest of the game. If that's the case, then Nelson may have to play the last 5.5 minutes of this game.
He was right there on the ice to win the draw. Maroon Knights are able to keep it in. Pass to the slot. Blaze Holt turns around, tries to get the puck to the middle of the ice. It sits there, and Maroon Knights are able to keep in his Hadfield. He's able to chunk one over. I think it might be a 2 and a 10 is what's going to be the call. I saw the referee give them his conduct sign as well. As it was announced here in the building, 2 and a 10 each. And that's something, you know, that in the ECHL level they might put up with and just give the 2 and let them guy come out, but not here in middle school. They're not going to condone going and getting into it after a play.
Well, I know, again, it was a very different time way back when, but when I was in that age, and this is Waha hockey also, folks in the Wheeling area remember Waha hockey. They kind of let that stuff go. We were allowed to do that a little bit. Might just be a 2-minute, but no misconducts.
My brother-in-law was known for his time at Wheeling Central for the 2 and the 10. It seems like every game he had one. As the Mohawks look to push it forward, this is Ryder Baker. Baker gets around one. He might have numbers if he continues to push. Baker, left side, fires a long shot. The glove save made by Mason Hastings with 4:13 remaining in the third period.
I'll be very interested to see how Wheeling Central puts out their lines in the final 4 minutes. Blaze Holt coming off the ice, just having a shift, but we'll see how much of the last 4 minutes he plays being down by a goal.
Defensive zone draw for the Maroon Knights. As it's won back by the Mohawks, but not able to push the puck forward was Baker. As he gets it stripped from him, Maroon Knights might have numbers. Pass in front, Atkinson has it. Wasn't able to get a very clean shot off. Good defensive pressure on the backside. I believe that was by Jackson Cash. As Atkinson not able to get the big shot off. Oh, must not have been a misconduct on that as well. Pretty sure both the referee looked at the bench and said, misconduct.
Yeah.
But they release them both, as both combatants will go to their benches.
It's a good save by Perella and net for the Mohawks on that last shot for Wheeling Central.
As the puck loose behind the net, puck in front on the doorstep, going to be cleared out. As Baker was there for the Mohawks to get that one out of danger. Does not have enough on it for icing. As we're down to 3:40 remaining in the third period, the Maroon Knights are going to have to turn it on. Mohawks behind that centering pass. Eludes Snyder at first. Eventually he's able to tack it around until he loses it. Maroon Knights look to push it forward. Vilas not able to get a piece of it. Eventually he will take it here on the right side. Vilas pass to the center. Atkinson tried to go to the net as he's upended in the process. Arms will stay down. No power plays have been given out in this game. Kaczynski able to have it after his short trip to the sin bin. Puck loose on the doorstep. It goes directly to Perella as Snyder's able to, slash it away. That puck was loose there, but one of those lost of sights, a little bit of a quick whistle.
This line has done very well for Wheeling Central between Kaczynski, Zane Atkinson, and then Mason Vilas as well. They work very hard. They're not the most skilled, but they've definitely got skill. They're a very good second line type of line.
As the Maroon Knights will have an offensive zone draw. Be Blaze Holt is able to win it, but eventually it's going to be taken away by the Mohawks. And back to what we mentioned, right back to the being on the same line, as that's going to be Brooks Nelson and Max Snyder, both out there on the ice at the same time, looking to possibly put this one to bed.
I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched a ton of their games this season, but it seems like the first 3 minutes of the game and maybe the final 3 minutes of the game, they'll both be on the ice the whole time.
Puck swirled in deep. Maroon Knights look to push it the other direction as they eventually get it out of that near side scrum. Holt carries it in. Right side has a couple defenders on him. Puck's going to be squashed all the way around the boards. We're down to 2:20 here in the third period. It's a one-goal game in favor of the Mohawks. Holt has it. Face-off circle, tries to center to the middle of the ice. Puck is still just bouncing around. But eventually, it's going to be taken by the Maroon Knights. Hatfield with a long shot as their glove is missing down on the ice. Play continues to stay in the Maroon Knights offensive zone. This is a long shot tipped as that one just goes wide. Centering pass as Holt almost banked it in off the back of Perella. Maroon Knights continue to have pressure. That one with a long shot by Hatfield. It's tipped down, and eventually the Mohawks carry the other way. 3-on-2 coming as it's Nelson coming in. Has Snyder with him as well, as long as Cash. As that one, actually that was Smith. As that puck just gets thwarted away. 100 seconds remain. Wheeling Central needs to work it ahead. As Pottercillo was able to have it on the near side. Trying to look down at the bench to see if they see a possible goalie pull, but you're going to wait for Maroon Knights to have possession. Smith has it ahead, but he gets it poked by him. Blaze Holt, 1-on-3. Holt will carry it as far as he can. Holt behind the net, tries the center, not able to fire it home. As we're down to 1 minute and 10 seconds. As carrying the puck ahead, Ryder Baker. Maroon Knights take over with 1 minute remaining in the third period, down by 1 goal. Vilas has it. He's able to backhand it in. Get the puck in deep. Atkinson pokes it away. And eventually Vilas has it. Centers in front. And Maroon Knights not able to capitalize on that opportunity. As it's Komorowski. Just moves the puck in deep into the near side corner. Battle for the puck. Maroon Knights trying to keep their last ditch effort. As Nelson's able to glove pass it forward, but he's in the defensive zone, so it's legal. Cash, Nelson in front. Backhand post and a save made by Hastings.
Hastings keeps the Maroon Knights' hopes alive with that big save there on a 2-on-1.
And you love to see it. Brooks Nelson comes over, gives some knuckles, be like, man, that was a great save. As a timeout will be called on the ice. It's going to be a timeout for Wheeling Central of 27.1 seconds remaining in the third period. They trail by a goal.
Yeah, I got a feeling coach is telling them we got to win this face-off, and here's what we're going to do when we win the face-off. Get that puck up the ice as quickly as possible. Pull that goalie, pay attention. Goaltender, once the puck gets to about the red line or just beyond, get to the bench as quickly as you possibly can. We need to get an extra man out there to tie this game up.
That's the only bad part about this draw here for Wheeling Central is you're in your defensive zone. If you're in your offensive zone, you might start with Hastings on the bench.
Yep.
And be like, hey, we're going to go 6-on-5. But you might see the old rim play here.
Yeah.
Where you might see if Wheeling Central wins it, you're going to send Blaze Holt coming and try to get him a breakaway and try to give him a chance to tie the game.
And you got to give credit to, I know with Morgantown we've been talking Snyder and Nelson all game long, but Perella has done a very good job himself in net for the Mohawks, especially late here when Wheeling Central has put on the pressure a little bit more often.
18 saves so far for Perella. I mean, as you said, not something to look at and be like, oh, he didn't do a lot. He's been a major impact in this game, and only the 2 goals, and a lot of them have been around the net.
Yeah.
So 27.1. As Holt was going to take the faceoff. against Medecky. Holt wins it. Maroon Knights got to go fast, and they got to go now because they're under 20. Long pass ahead. It eventually gets through. Maroon Knights try to dump it in deep, but eventually it's going to be thwarted out to the neutral zone. Maroon Knights have to get it. Hatfield with a long shot as Perella is able to wear that one in the chest and eventually get the whistle as I think an extra 4 seconds ticked off the clock there until we got the whistle.
Hey, I think a couple of Maroon Knight players were saying, hey, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. It's been covered, but 10 seconds.
Net is empty. 6-on-5. The Maroon Knights have it as Blaze Holt will go against Medecky. Tries to go forward. Pass in front on the doorstep. Kuczynski had it. Wasn't able to fire it home. Down to 3 seconds. Got to get a shot off. In front, Snyder has it, thwards it away, and that's your final score, 3-2. But the Maroon Knights had a chance at the buzzer.
What a sequence in the final 10 seconds. Again, it sure looked like Wheeling Central was going to pick up a goal there late, but Morgantown comes out the victor, and you know what? The early play, the way they started this game, I know it's early in the morning, 8 a.m. start, but they came out ready to play. And that's what got them the victory this morning.
It didn't take a lot after that first period. You know, Wheeling Central, I think you could say they outplayed Morgantown from the second and third period standpoint. Just looking at the shots on goal, you know, Wheeling Central had 8 in that third period, Morgantown with 4. But it's the only one that goes in for Morgantown in the third frame is the one that wins it. What an incredible game we had here for our first one.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to give a ton of credit. Brooks Nelson, Max Snyder did a tremendous job all game long. Again, also their goaltender, Joe Perella, did a tremendous job making sure they win this one. For Wheeling Central, that one hurts. Had an opportunity at the end, but knowing the fact that they're just in middle school, they're going to have some time to create some more hockey memories as the high school years go on as well.
As Brooks Nelson was named the game's MVP, as he very well should. 2 goals and an assist in this one, and when you're a part of every single one of your team's goals and scores, that's going to get some big props from me. Brooks Nelson MVP again, 2 goals and an assist, especially the first goal.
Yeah,
I think we forget about that, what happened between the legs. I mean, that's incredible.
Tremendous player. It's going to be fun to watch them in the championship game.
Looking at the goaltending in this one, Perella makes 20 saves. As on the other side for the Maroon Knights, Hastings did a good job as well, 13 saves on 16 shots. As again, our final score is 3-2 in favor of Morgantown. Our next game will be the high school constellation game, as that's going to be between Wheeling Central and Charleston. For now, we're going to take a break and step back. When we come back again, it'll be that high school constellation match, all right here at the West Virginia State Hockey Championships, presented by WVU Medicine.